So you're looking for a way to cook a few pork chops. Well, I'm your guy. I've been doing this 50 years. Look at those babies. We're going to throw them down this cast iron skillet, and we're going to butter baste them after they've been seared. And I'll show you how to control your heat and how to get her done. These are delicious. Let's get cooking. You want your pork chops to turn out nice, I'd add this tip. Make sure you get them out of the fridge over here and get them up to room temperature before you begin. I just grabbed a couple pork chops at the local grocery store. They're probably about an inch thick. I'd like them to have been a little bit thicker, but hey, that's all they had, so that's what we're going to try today. Dump them on the plate. We don't need this, throw it away. Just pat them dry a little bit with a paper towel. We'll flip them over, pat them dry. That's it, just get some of that liquid off there. And I always like to hit them with a little bit of salt, and let me give you a little tip on salting and peppering and flavoring your foods. You don't want to be way down here. No, you don't want that. You want to be up high. And you won't get a big concentration of that salt in one particular area. See how even that gets? That's a trick. I seen that on TV once. And we just hit the other side the same way. Because I'm not a salt guy, but on meat, salt's a good thing. Getting all fancy, I'm turning the plate so you can see the whole pork chop. So we got to get a little cast iron. We're going to get this off this baker's rack. This is where I store all my cast iron that I use for daily users. So let's see what we're going to use. One that's been 20 years. Let's be adventurous. Let's use this one. New Lodge cast iron skillet that I just got not too long ago. It's only had a handful of cooks on it. Probably be a good demonstration to use it. So we just fired the stove up. Pretty straightforward. I'm going to start out around medium and we'll get this on there. We want to have that centered over that burner as close as we can get it. It can be off a smidge, but the closer you have it to center, the more even that heat will be. I usually just use my hand and do the hand hover. Feel that? It's hot. Handle's hot. Now we need a little oil to be able to sear them beautiful pork chops. I usually just use grapeseed oil or avocado oil. You want something pretty high temp because you don't want it to start smoking. I'll put a decent amount in there. You can do the tilt method or whatever you prefer as far as your oil. I like to use a towel because I just want to make sure it gets coated good. So we'll get that coated just like that. Be pretty hot. We'll turn it down some. You don't want it to smoke. That's what screws up your seasoning. You let that stuff start to smoke, you're going to have an ugly pan. And as you notice, nothing's coming off. We just got some oil. I keep my pans clean. I don't want to taste yesterday's food. Get yourself a little water and just dump her in there. See how they're turning into little BBs? That's pretty cool if I say so myself. I do it every day and I'm still always amazed. But if you're cooking other foods, it's critical to be around the edge like scrambled eggs and so forth. That's when you want to make sure them edges are nice and hot. So let's give them a sear. What do you say? That sounds pretty cool. Now, if you don't want them old school pork chops that you got served when you was a kid, I'm old, that was a long time ago. They were always dry, burnt, looked gray, tasted like he was eating a boot. We don't want that, we want them to be juicy. So probably a couple minutes aside. Now what you want to do, see there, that's stuck. And that's what's going to happen. So we got to let these go long enough that they start to self-release. And you won't get all them crusty bits down here on the bottom of that fine cast iron skillet. I can hear it sizzling and I'm just watching on the edges here for any sign of coloration change. And I see some on this side over here. So look at this. We're ready to go. Got a nice little sear, but we're not burned. Critical. Let's see if this one's a little thicker, so it might be different. Let's take a look. Yep, it's ready too. I can't get a hold of it. There's always something. Look at that. Nice little sear, not overly burned. This is looking pretty good. We got our heat controlled. We're not too hot. The pan is hot. So now we can go down to low. That's still going to sear, but we got to get that pork completely cooked. We got a little difference in size here. This one's kind of thick and this one isn't. We might have to move this one off, put it on the cold zone, set it aside for a little bit so we can get them cooked nice and even. Checking out the bottom of this, I think we got a little ways to go on them. Actually, where the meat was, it lowered the temperature of the pan. So if you move them in a different location, which I probably should have done in the beginning, then you'll get that hot spot. And you can see this isn't stuck. You control heat, you're not going to have all that mess. That'll come right off of there. See right down here? See how that's starting to release a few juices right in that area? That's what we want. And we can do a little bit of a spin so that we get them even. Because I don't want them burned up. I just like a little bit of crust to help hold them juices in. There's a few different ways you can cook them. If you got real thick ones, you can just turn on the oven. Stick them in the oven here, like 350. Put the whole skillet in there. That's the beauty of cast iron skillet. And throw it in there and you can bake them. Another option that I do most frequently, other than it's cold right now and there's a bunch of snow outside, sear them and then I put them on my smoker. Smoke them low until the internal temperature is correct. Today we're going to cook them right here in the cast iron skillet. Turn that heat down, just let them slow roll. Takes a little bit longer than if you just had that pan to where it was smoking, setting your smoke alarm off. You don't need to do all that. Just do it this way. Pretty simple. I think it's going to work out pretty good. Not screw your pan up. That's half the battle. Don't screw up your cast iron. You get it all hot and that's when you get that seasoning flaking off and all them problems. Just that light oil. Light oil I think is key, and higher smoke temperature oil. Now, if you're using animal fats like bacon grease, lard, things like that, you got to even be more careful. You don't want to get that stuff smoking because then you'll be partially seasoning and approaching polymerization. And you'll have a big old mess with your skillet when you're done. The food will taste fine, but then that's when you get all that parts flaking off. It's just all about maintenance and heat control. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. If you want to get all edge, I don't think it matters as much, but if you get a little bit of sear on each edge of this thing, it will help retain that juice. Or you can prop it up. Oh, that was an accident. But you know, when you have something like that happen, that's what happens when you've been cooking for a long time. Now, I'm going to think of that every single time I cook from here on out. If you're liking my old guy tips and tricks, why don't you just slam that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I have to eat every week, so all I have to do is record and put up a video. It's pretty quick. You know, it's kind of nice to be able to use these props in your videos, and they go straight down right in my belly. I love to do that kind of butter baste method. Hopefully the pan's cooled down enough. So I'll just put some butter in here. Gives it a good flavor. Anytime you put any kind of herbs in your food, if you let them get too hot and they get burnt, they taste terrible. Nothing worse than going through all this effort to make yourself some fine pork chop and then you screw it up because you put too much heat. You got your herbs and seasonings burned. The butter is not turning brown. We don't want that. You never want butter to turn brown. If your butter turns brown, it's too hot. Just every so often, just get you some butter on here and flip it over. Probably always want to keep the thick part to the center because it's obviously going to always be a little bit hotter there. But to be safe, you don't want to eat pork that's underdone. You need to get yourself some kind of thermometer and you can just start checking it and see where we're at. Little adjustments as you go. And that's probably why a lot of people mess up. You know, this is going to still cook when you're done with the skillet. You put it on the plate, it still cooks on the internal. You have to be safe, obviously, because it is pork. So the USDA, I just looked up, says 145 degrees internal. So if you're between 145, 160, you're going to be fine. You don't have to get that particular, at least I don't think so. Patience, cooking, anything is always tasting better. And the only buddy that's messed up and worrying about how long it's taken me, my belly. I'm hungry. It smells really good. That's the only issue with going slow. Look at the juice coming out of that. Oh, this is going to be a good pork chop. Just make sure we get all the way down on the inside of that thing. So we're at 155 right there in that thickest part. Now see, here's a good example. Because of that, having that fat in the middle, this is kind of curled up. So this end over here is only at 133. What I think we need to do is flip it over again. Get her a little more butter. Let her go a little bit longer. Because, you know, you got that thick piece. As it heats up, it starts to curl a little bit. So you got to check them ends because they're not touching the cast iron. A couple subscribers, they posted in my comments down there and said, hey, I'm really struggling with pork chops. Would you mind doing a pork chop video? And I'm like, you know what? I haven't had a pork chop in a long time. I'm going to cook some. Having stuff that's different thicknesses works for anything. Bacon, hamburgers, whatever you're cooking. Just put them up here on the edge like that. Obviously, it's a little cooler here than right over the burner. And then you keep it warm. It won't get cold. That's in the 170s. Let's go deep on this piece. That's 180. I can already tell it's tender just by putting this in here. Turn it off. Some people say go upwards of 5 minutes. If you have the willpower to do that, by all means. I think if we just let it sit a couple minutes, it always turns out really good. So I usually just turn it off, let it sit here in the pan, 1-2 minutes, not a long time, while I go get my plate, and then I'll plate it up. Now that we cooled down, like I was saying earlier about seasoning, it's just a little onion powder. I just put a little bit of that on there. And here again, if you kind of do this from afar, which means up this way, evenly distributed. If I way down here, see, and I got that big pow. And you got that uneven flavor, if that's a thing. I'm saying we do this big thick one. What do you think? Let's try that one. Put it right there on the plate. Hey, we're ready for the moment of truth. Let's get this thing open, see what it looks like. And here comes Benny the dog, because he smells the food. All that is cutting very nicely. This is killing me, the suspense. Look at that. Look at that beauty. Look at them juices. I'm telling you what, watch this. Look at that juice coming out of there. That is one juicy pork chop. There's only one thing left to do. Let's cut a couple bite-sized pieces off of here. So let's take a bite. Oh, I'm telling you what, this is absolutely amazing. That butter basting deal, you don't have to get crazy if you're not a huge butter person, but it really makes things taste delicious. And just a little bit of that onion powder on there at the very end. Oh, that's the only thing better. This is tiger sauce. It's really good on any kind of meats. Put yourself a few drips on the plate. Now you can dump it on there, but I'm kind of a dippy guy instead of a cover guy. Well, that's even better. Perfectly done. I'm telling you what, that is one delicious pork chop. I see them post all the time because I'm on Facebook and people's asking me questions and I'm commenting. You get all that seasoning coming off of your pan, you done messed it up. You don't want that. You got to keep that heat down. If you want some juicy pork chop, this is the way to go. I appreciate you watching as always. Hopefully you're learning a couple things. You're feeding back some things that I need to learn. Keep cooking.